Welcome to Business Growth Live with Dani. I'm Dani Louise Smith, the Queen of Business Organisation, business coach, mentor, and best-selling author. And this week I'm talking to you about creating offers that sell themselves without being pushy. So when I work with clients, one of the most common things I find is that people want to sell effortlessly, they want to sell ethically without being pushy. So a lot of the times it can be quite a challenge to be able to connect getting the sale with the dreamy ideal client without being too pushy. And I get it, because we have all been sold to it in a negative way. So I actually first want to talk to you about looking at that. I want you to look at how have you been sold to in a way that you didn't like, and usually that is the case where that's been misaligned and it's why you have not enjoyed the experience. But it's recognizing that you are not that person. You're not the person that sells in a negative salesy way, and I am no exception to this. I often feel that sales can feel icky, even now, even 11 years into business, even as a business coach as well, because there are a lot of people in this industry that are out there that are selling with ick, are very pushy, and because they're in the same industry, often we feel like we're getting tired with the same brush. And in some cases, in your industry, you might, but it's recognizing that you are not that person and you don't sell that way. So I want you to recognize that you are not selling with ick, you're not pushy, and notice that as a limiting belief that's coming up for you, and don't allow it to stop you taking the aligned sales action that you desire to be able to sell what you want. But the part of what I'm going to talk about today is not actually about sales. It's about what you do before you even focus on selling the product or the service. It's about what you do before the products and service becomes a thing. And I'm talking about this one thing in particular because when I'm working with therapists, when I'm working with coaches, when I'm working with people in the service-based industry, what I usually see is the same thing. This step is missed, and this step is so important. It's important for your overall business, but it's also important for creating a service that sells itself. So if you want your service to effortlessly sell, then this is something that you need to align yourself with. And it is more about your branding, your brand voice, your values and your mission and your overall goals, and how you communicate that with your audience so that the offer then will sell itself. So this is something I have done recently. I have, in the last few months, realigned myself with mine. It's something that I do on a regular basis, and this is why most people are missing a trick, because they're not realigning themselves. And it's really important to do that, to look over what your mission is as a business and as a brand, what you value as your business and as your brand, what your focus is, who it is that you want to be working with, and why. And the reason that's so important to look back on is because you change, your ideal client changes, the economy changes, and the market changes. So with all of these changes, that has an impact on the way that you are able to sell, the way that you're able to communicate. So when you realign yourself back to those core business foundations, it helps you to get back on track and make sure you are in alignment. So if you're in a place where you're sharing a service, something that you're focused on selling, and it's not getting any hits, then maybe this is something that you can action right now that will allow you to be able to get focused with the message that is aligned with you. Here's a really good example. This year I was set to be launching my foundations program again in September. I have actually now decided to take that launch off the table, even though I'm actually running a launch program based around launching, because it wasn't aligned with me. The pressure that it was going to give me to get loads of work done in the lead up to that, I wasn't aligned with. It was overwhelming me and stressing me out, so I just decided to take it off the table. This was also based on someone else's strategy and someone else's narrative of what I should be launching. You should only be launching what feels right for you, what feels right for your business, and actually gets you excited, because part of creating an offer that sells itself is being aligned with it and you wanting to be able to actually sell it and serve. A lot of the time it might be that you're actually not selling the service because you're not aligned with it. So you're not actually passionate or excited about delivering the thing that you're selling. So this might be the first place to start. Actually asking yourself, is this what I want to be selling right now? Because if the answer is no, or you feel a bit unsure, then that's a signal to yourself to walk away from it and think about what you would like to be selling and what you would like to be focusing on right now. So that's the first thing you can do. Ask yourself that question. The second thing that you can do is sit down and make some time to ask yourself these questions. Now, these questions are very foundational, quite easy to be honest, or you might not be sure, but the clarity in answering them is what will help you sell the service effortlessly. And you won't have to be pushy, because all it will do is attract aligned clients that are finding you relatable, are on the same mission, that are aligned with you and your goals, which is how it becomes effortless, because it just creates connection and relatability. So the questions to ask yourself are, with the designed, in fact, let's, before we talk about the service, talk about your business as a whole, like the bigger picture of your business. What is your mission of the business right now? And what is the vision that you have for it? These are really important things that you need to be talking about within your marketing, within your content, because this is what creates connection with people. Share your thoughts around the journey that you're on, share your vision, and share your thought leadership around those topics, because this is what is going to create relatability and is going to connect with the right people that will want to come and buy from you when you are selling your service. So that's the first question to ask yourself. What is your mission? What is the vision that your business is aligned with right now? The second question is, what do you value personally and professionally? So personally, like, what's your personal values? In my business, my personal values bleed into my business values, and this is because I believe that my clients value exactly the same things that I do. So for example, my values are community, connection, collaboration over competition. Family is one of my values, so anyone who works with me is more than likely going to value exactly the same thing, because they want to stop exchanging time for money. They want to also make sure that they are building a community, they're connecting with people, and that it's not just about names and numbers. So that's what I value, and I find that a lot of my clients value that exact same thing as well. So think about, what are your values right now within your business? And then what you do with those answers is you see how those correlate with the service that you are delivering. So think about a specific service in mind. Maybe it's something that you're selling right now, and ask yourself, what is your ultimate goal with this service? And I remember working, when I did used to run my foundations program, I remember working with a client who I asked this exact question to, and she was actually in a product-based business. She made little figures, which was amazing. But when I asked her what her mission was with these products that she created, she told me about, like, the job that she had and wanting to get out of the job and the money that she wanted to make. And that's great. That is great, but that's a personal mission. What we want to know is what your mission is in terms of the transformation that you offer people. So we had to work on that message, because if you are leading with the message of what you're getting out of this business, out of this product and this service, then nobody is going to connect with that. People still do want to know, though. They do still want to know what you value and what you're working on. For example, the new business that I set up this year, my networking business, today I have reached out to someone who we are going to be investing in, and this is one of many people that we're going to be investing in because of our mission and our vision to be inclusive. So I will talk about the investments that I'm making within the content on the social media pages of that business. So the one that I talked to today is she's actually a business coach, but she is a trauma-informed coach. And so I'm reaching out to her to train me, to train my team, and to train the community, and be an integral part of that business in education. And I'll share that. I'll share what I'm invested in and what I'm learning, because it comes into the values of the core of the business and what value my ideal client values as well. So I need to be sharing that. Whereas in your business, you need to be thinking about what is in it for your ideal client. So asking yourself, what is the mission to serve the people that you want to work with? That's the message you want to be sharing. And then again, what is the vision? So what is your vision for your business? And when I say that, it's not about you. We can definitely have our personal goals as well, but it's about sharing what that vision is for the people that you're aiming to work with, because that is the key to connecting with the right people, and to be able to create a service that sells itself. So if your service is not selling itself, it simply is just the messaging. In fact, it's not always just the messaging, but today I want to focus on this part. There are different parts that I would recommend looking at if your service is not selling itself. One of them, of course, being the messaging, what I'm talking about today, your brand values and making sure that's all in alignment. They're a huge part of it. But if you've done a lot of work and you feel secure in that and you feel aligned with that and you feel sure and you've got so much clarity around that, then the other thing to look at is the top of the funnel. How many people are actually following you on social media, seeing your marketing, seeing your emails, how many people are coming into contact with you, because that's top of funnel. We need people actually funneling in, and you need to be visible in order for them to see the message that you have. And then also at the end of the funnel, like, how are you performing your sales tasks to be able to sell that service as well. So there's 3 parts to this that I'm talking about today, but the middle part is what I'm focusing on, is the message, because that is what is going to sell your service without it being icky. Imagine the ease of being able to just talk about what you're passionate about, what you wanted to help people with, and that sells itself. So if you've not sat down and documented this and worked on this, then this is something that you can take action on right now when it comes to selling your service. And this is where my organisation and the unique thing that I have plays its part. So as the Queen of Business Organisation, I do business how it's meant to be done. However, I recognise that often there is a lot to be tackling, there's a lot to be managing within your business, and it's not always easy to take some time to sit down and to plan this stuff. So what I like to do is make it as easy as possible. I created a document which I myself use and I share it with my clients, and it's called a marketing brief, and every time we are focusing on selling a service, we complete this marketing brief so that we are clear on these exact things. The mission, the vision, the values, and so much more around the transformation that this service delivers, so that then when we create content from that, it sells itself. Then all we have to do is manage the strategy around it. And again, I have my techniques, my systems, my processes in place to help stay super organised with generating leads, with your sales activities, and obviously marketing and your content and your message throughout that helps to get your service to sell itself. All of them are really, really important to take note of. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. So when you think about that and how you can implement it in your business, and as always, leave me a comment below if you have some thoughts on this or if you have any questions, because I'm always open to a chat, always open to answering them. And right now, if you would like to come and work on this with me, the doors are open for my Time Rich Mastermind, which is my 6-month container for you to come and be supported by me. I'm really excited to have the doors open to this, because this time, as we reopen, it's in alignment with myself and what I want to deliver and the original vision that I had. So the transformation here that we are going to be working on is, whether you're a startup business and you're just finding your feet and you want to put those foundations in place, absolutely got you covered. In fact, one of the bonuses is worth £1,200, and it is access to my foundations program, because I recognise the need to be able to have those in place, and so you get that included. But a second bonus that I'm really passionate about is delivering you an opportunity to get together and work with myself and your peers in the room. So in this mastermind, you have weekly support from me. It means that you get support to be coached on a one-to-one basis every single week, but within a group format. So you've got your time dedicated in the hot seat every single week, right? But what I wanted was more than that. I wanted to be able to give you an opportunity to tap into in-person energy, physically get my hands, my ears, my eyes on your business. And so every year I am now, this is new, I'm excited to talk about it. Every year I'm going to host 2 strategic shift days in person here in Leeds. So I'm about to secure the dates for both of them. One of them will be happening in December, and then 2 next year. So these are open to anyone to come along. However, if you are in my Time Rich Mastermind, you get access to one of these completely free, included in your program, so that you get to meet your peers, so that you get to meet me in person, and we get to work on your business strategy and we get to mastermind together. So to paint a picture of what that looks like, we're in a 4-star venue with lunch included all day refreshments, and you get to work in person with me. You'll get a time in the hot seat, and there will be some form of workshop, whether hosted by me or I'll bring a guest in, and it will be a collaborative topic that everybody in the room on that day will need. So I will do my research, and I'll look at what you guys are needing right now, and I will bring that topic in for you. So I'm really excited to deliver this, and this is completely free as part of the mastermind as well. There are other amazing bonuses. Go and check them out on the sales page. I will put the link in the video so that you can go check it out, or pop me a message and say that you want more information about the Time Rich Mastermind, where we come together to create the life of time and money freedom, where you get to be rich in more than just currency and more than just money. It's about the time that your business gives you back as well. So I'm really excited to work on that. We've already got 3 people in, which means there are only 3 spaces available. So get in touch now if you would like to discuss if this is the right next business move for you. I will see you next week with another Business Growth Live with Dani. Bye for now.